Batting 7th will be left fielder Jacob Ruscher. Batting 8th will be the DH Will Lartz, and batting 9th will be right fielder DJ Heron. Matt Baston on the hill for the Wildcats. Matt Clippert is the catcher, and Bob will tell us a little bit more about the rest of the defense there.
Yeah, for River Ridge Scales Mountain, we'll start with pitching Matt Bastion, of course, behind the plate, Matt Clippert at first base, Sam Merkel. Mark Arroyo at second. At third base, Austin Coots. Shortstop, Brandon Brown. And then from left field, Jack Cordy. Center field, Brendan Dolphin. And right field, Nate Brown.
Zach Randecker takes a strike inside from Baston. The next pitch is lined into center field. With a beat on it there is Brendan Dolphin, who backs up about 5 steps and makes the catch for out number 1.
Ball seemed to be carrying pretty good there. Went, fly ball to center. Dolphin had it no problem, but the ball is going to carry. The wind is blowing out slightly to right field.
Eastland is managed by Weston Burkholder. He is in the third base coach's box. Jeremy Knauer, the manager or head coach of the River Ridge Scales Mountain Co-op. Baston delivers. Taking a strike is Nick Simpson. 0-1. 1 out, nobody on here in the first. Simpson, a right-hand hitter, fouls that one away to the screen. 0-2. Dave Glasgow behind the plate. John Zambrovitz on the bases as far as the officials are concerned today. Beautiful day for baseball, although when it's raining and cold, we like to say it's a beautiful day for baseball, Bob.
Every day is a great day for baseball, right?
That's for sure. There's a pitch up high, a ball.
Last Thursday, Brian, River Ridge Scales Mountain played East Dubuque here. Baston was on the mound. River Ridge had a terrible first inning, a lot of errors, but and next thing you knew it, they were down 4-0. River Ridge Scales Mountain was, but they played great baseball the last 5 innings of the game. Brian came back and defeated East Dubuque 6-4. It was a great comeback for the Wildcats.
Wow, Simpson fouled that pitch away from Baston. So Baston ahead in the count here. And we'll deliver. Here is a 1-2 offering. Little change of pace, swing and a miss for out number 2.
That was a nice pitch. He kept it down low, and good start for the Wildcats so far, Brian.
So 2 down for the third baseman, Brighton Haverland. Haverland, a right-hand hitter, steps in against Baston. The first pitch is right at the letter, strike called.
Yeah, it was a pretty high strike. It was a breaking ball that really didn't snap very good, but he got the call.
0-1, 2 outs, nobody on here in the top half of the first inning. Haverland inside outs this one towards center field. Dolphin calls for it and makes the catch, and it's 3 up, 3 down in the top half of the first inning. So at the end of half an inning, it's Eastland nothing, and River Ridge Scales Mountain coming to bat. Back after these messages on WCCI.
Do you have another pen? This thing is...
Well.
No score as River Ridge Scales Mountain comes to bat. Tanner Deed draws the start for the Cougars this afternoon. Peyton Klaus is his battery mate. He'll face a lineup that looks like this. Batting first, it's Brendan Dolphin in center field. Second place hitter is the catcher, Matt Clippert. Batting third is shortstop, Brandon Brown. In the cleanup spot, the fourth place hitter is Matt Baston, the pitcher. Batting fifth will be Nate Brown, who plays right field. Third baseman Austin Coots bats 6th. Jack Cordy is the left fielder and the 7th place hitter. Sam Merkel bats 8th. He is the first baseman today for the Wildcats. Batting 9th will be DH Zach Stottle. So here we go with Dauphin coming to bat. Bob, we have pictures to go with our audio today on River Ridge TV.
Yeah, I want to mention that a plug for the River Ridge High School. This game is also, you can watch it on the internet on riverridge210.org. And we want to thank Mike Dittmer for doing all that right now. And so you can listen to WCCI and watch the game.
So Deed into the windup. Pitches to Dauphin, misses down low a ball. Brighton Haverland's the third baseman. Nick Simpson's the shortstop. Bradley Johnson's out at second base. And Ethan Christian's the first baseman. That's the infield defense, third to first. Dauphin awaits the 1-0. Lines this one towards right field. DJ Heron comes on and makes the catch for out number 1. That hung up just long enough.
Yeah, and Heron did a good job. It was a line drive to right field, opposite field, but Heron got a nice jump on it and two-handed, easy catch, 1 out. Good play.
That'll bring up Matt Clippert, the outfield defense for Eastland. Jacob Ruscher out in left, Zach Randecker in center, and DJ Heron, who records the first putout of the afternoon, is out in right field. Clippert takes a strike on the first pitch from Tanner Deed. Eastland 7-11 entering this matchup today. As Clippert pops this one into right field, a long run again for Heron. He comes on and has it bounce in front of him. It gets past him. Clippert on his way into second base. And a hustle double there as that one landed in front of the right fielder Heron. He had a long run and then it kind of kicked to the side of him, and Clippert's able to leg it into second base.
Well, that's exactly what happened. I was talking to the Eastland manager before the game, and I said, boy, the ground is hard as a rock. We only got like 0.3 of an inch in the last 10 days here. And he was surprised because it got a little more rain south of here. And that ball was a Texas leaguer, and you're right. Heron did as best he could coming, and it just took a weird bounce and went behind him. So it's not a single and an error. I agree with you, Brian. It's a double because it took a bad hop on that hard outfield.
Yeah, it was one of those situations that as soon as it dropped, it kind of played the fielder, not the other way around. First pitch hitting here is Brown. He lines this one out into left field. Long run for the left fielder who can't get there. He's down. Brown's on his way to second base, and he'll be in there as the throw gets past the second baseman, Johnson. And Jacob Ruscher, slow to get up. He had a long run. He and Randecker pursuing that one. It dropped in between them.
Well, I don't know if they lost it in the sun. I thought it should have been caught. It hung up pretty high, but I won't say what the official scoring is, but either the sun got in his eyes or he had a bad jump. The wind's also causing some problems, and kind of a lucky break for River Ridge Scales Mountain. That ball probably should have been caught.
So now, with 1 out, Matt Baston bats with runners at second and third. We have a courtesy runner at third base for Clippert. And Brown's out there at second base, possibly due to a two-base error. Baston pops this one into shallow right field. That's dropping. It'll fall in front of Heron. That allowed the courtesy runner to score first and third with a run in here. 1 out in the home half of the first inning. So the Wildcats on top early on here.
Yeah, another bloop single. Good base running, and River Ridge Scales Mountain takes a 1-0 lead.
So now a situation where the Wildcats looking to build on this 1-0 lead. We'll see what they decide to do as far as strategy as Nate Brown, a left-handed hitter, steps in.
Yeah, Nate's the right fielder. I think the only left-handed hitter in the River Ridge Scales Mountain lineup. And he took the first pitch low for a ball.
So Deed in a little bit of trouble here. Pickoff move and back in safely at first base is Baston.
I don't think Baston will be running. He's a big kid, and normally River Ridge like to do a lot of running here, but I don't think he's going to be going.
Brown takes a strike, and there he goes, kind of
delayed steal, wasn't it?
Yeah. Let to take the base. Klaus not real worried about getting that ball over there.
I don't know if they forgot about him or what, but Baston kind of jogged on to second. So River Ridge Scales Mountain now have runners on second and third. with 1 out. So if you're for River Ridge Scales Mountain, Brown's got to put it in play.
Brown grounds this one to second. Oh, it takes a bad hop. It's going to get past Johnson. 1 run in. Here comes Baston to the plate. And that bad hopper there results in 2 runs for the Wildcats, who lead 3-0.
Boy, that ground is like concrete out there. That took a bounce about 4 or 5 feet, and he was ready to field it. The second baseman, Johnson, and River Ridge now has a 3-0 lead.
Austin Coots steps in with a runner on first base. Immediately going is Brown. He's going to steal second, as the throw's a little late getting there. Bob, were you able to pick out what the official call was on that?
We're going to give him a single, bad hop single. I'm not going to give an error on the second baseman. Of course, we're the unofficial book, but I think Johnson just took a really bad hop. We could be wrong. We do know the score is 3-0. That's all that matters, right?
Okay, that's true.
And we know the outs. 1 out.
Runner at second. 3 in as Coots fouls that one away. Right over towards where Bob parked.
No.
Okay.
Not with my new car.
You walked down there, didn't you?
I'm way over there in the parking lot.
The 1-1 pitch. Ground it towards third. Haverland bobbles it, has time. Throws to first, gets the out. The runner's able to advance over to third base. Nice job of running there by Brown to kind of wait to see that throw across the diamond.
Yeah, Brown did a good job. That's 2 outs. It was bobbled, like you said, from Haverland, but he picked it back up and fired a strike, getting the runner by about a step.
That'll bring up Jack Cordy with a runner on third. 3-0 River Ridge Scales Mountain with the lead here in the bottom of the first inning. This one fouled back.
Yeah, it was aggressive cut by Jack Cordy on the first pitch. Now, if you're Brown at third, he's got to make sure he gets a good lead. Looking for a pass ball, wild pitch, anything like that can happen.
This one is lined into the gap between left and center. It's going to get all the way to the fence. Cordy's going to be in with an RBI double.
Well, there's the best hit of the game so far. That was no Texas Leaguer bloop. That was a line drive shot by Jack Cordy. He gets a stand-up double and an RBI.
No question on that one, Bob.
Didn't have to ask the official scorer standing behind me here what he thought of that one. So a nice start for River Ridge Scales Mound. They now lead 4-0 here. We're still in the bottom of the first.
First baseman Sam Merkel bats. He pops this one up right side. Chasing it is Christians towards the fence. That's going to climb out of play. Foul ball. So the Wildcats strike first. 4 runs and counting here in the first as Merkel swings and misses at that one. Zach Stottle, the DH, in the on-deck circle. Then it's the top of the order for the Wildcats. This one grounded right back to Geed. He's going to take his time, throws to first for the out to retire the side. 1-3 on the put-up, but not before River Ridge Scales Mound erupts for 4 runs in the bottom half of the first inning. We've played 1 complete. It's River Ridge Scales Mound 4, Eastland nothing on WCCI. High School 4-0. River Ridge Steels Mountain with the lead on Eastland as we go to the top of the second inning. Peyton Klaus, the catcher, will lead off for the Cougars. They were retired in order in the top of the first inning. Matt Baston misses outside. Again, these two teams met in an 8-inning game back on Tuesday, won 5-4 by the Cougars. So Klaus awaits, a right-hand hitter. Baston into the windup, delivers. This one is skied up past the second baseman. Dauphin calls for it and comes over and makes the catch.
Luckily, Dauphin came in and called for that because the second baseman, I thought it should have been his ball, but he was nowhere near it. So the athlete, Dauphin, came in from center field and called him off and made it an easy play.
Well, generally, Bob, the center fielder is kind of the general out there because he's coming in, and if he says, I got it, I think you have to kind of say, go ahead.
It's easier for the outfield, no question about it, but luckily he was there because the second baseman was not getting back too quickly.
Left-handed hitting Tanner Deed bats second in the inning, one out. Nobody on for the Cougars. They're down 4-0. Baston missed with the first pitch, answers with a strike. It's 1-1. Here's the next pitch. That's at the letters, and that's a strike call. Now the 1-2.
Ooh.
Just outside.
Yep, that just missed on the outside, but I like big strike zones. I really do. Make the guy swing the bat, and the umpires got the big strike zones. Those are my favorite umpires.
The 2-2 is just inside as Deed leaned away from that one. 3-2.
He should have a good pitch to hit here, Brian.
Well, he awaits and he grounds this one towards first. Merkel fields it. He's going to take it 3 unassisted as he beats Deed to the base for the second out of the inning. Ethan Christians, the first baseman, bats now. Four nothing. River Ridge Steels Mound with the lead. They scored 4 times in the bottom of the first inning. They had a lead the other night and saw it slip away in that 8-inning loss to the Cougars. Swinging that time is Ethan Christians, and he fouls it away. The 0-1 from Baston. Fouled back.
Yeah, I might want to mention, Brian, we have more fans here than they had in Camden.
That's right, yeah.
Isn't that awful?
Yeah.
That's the first time they say in the history of Major League Baseball it's ever happened.
That is amazing. Christians goes after that 0-2 delivery in the dirt. Clippert's able to field it. It's a drop third strike, and he applies the tag for the putout. So a strikeout, 3 up, 3 down. We played 1.5 with the score. River Ridge Steels Mound 4, Eastland nothing. Back after this on WCCI. Welcome back to River Ridge High School. I'm Brian Roosh alongside Bob Dittmar. Our engineer is Leslie Smith. It's 4-0 River Ridge Steels Mound with the lead as we move to the bottom of the second inning. As Zach Stottle, the DH, will lead off. Then it's the top of the order, Brendan Dauphin and Matt Clippert, the scheduled hitters for the Wildcats. Stottle takes a strike from Tanner Deed. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike two.
Yeah, that was blown right by him. Nice pitch by Geed. He's up ahead of Stottle 0-2, so don't throw one in the middle of the plate here. Try to hit a corner.
This one grounded towards second base. Fielded there by Bradley Johnson. He throws to first to Christians for the out. So leadoff hitter in the second grounds out number one. I'm sure Bradley Johnson was glad that took a better hop than a couple of those chances he had.
He did a fine job on that one.
Adam Head, Tim Pauley, and Tyler Deed are the assistant coaches for the Cougars as Dauphin takes a ball there.
Brendan Dauphin lined out to right field in the first inning.
Dauphin lashes at this one, lines it out to right field, and DJ Heron makes the catch for out number two.
Good inning so far for Eastland. That was a kind of a half swing. Good job of going the other way, Dauphin did, but right at the right fielder, Heron, who's made an easy catch.
That brings Matt Clippert to the plate. Assistant coaches for River Ridge Scales Mound are Mark Bryan, Zach Staver, and Dave Weedle. Clippert pops this one up to right field. DJ Heron makes the call and the catch on the foul line for out number three. So 3 up, 3 down in the second for Tanner Deed as he mows down the Wildcats there. We've played two here at River Ridge High School. 4-0, the Wildcats with the lead. We'll be back after these messages on WCCI.
Good job running the camera for River Ridge TV.
Top of the third here, River Ridge Scales Mound on top of Eastland, 4-0. As stepping in now is Jacob Ruscher, the left fielder for Eastland. First pitch is a called strike, and Baston gets ahead early, and really Bob Baston's not been behind too many batters here.
He's doing really well, and again, I like the umpire. I think he's got a pretty good strike zone, and the players know that, so they better be up there hacking as that pitch just missed.
Just a bit outside, that evens the count up at 1-1. On a beautiful Thursday afternoon. Baston's next pitch, down the middle, a swing and a miss. As Ruscher able to catch up with that high fastball.
Yep, that's exactly what it was, a high fastball, and he was underneath it. And
1-2 pitch on the way, another high fastball. This time Ruscher able to pop it up over the screen as he stays alive 1-2.
I'm going to call here for a curveball low and away. After all those high fastballs, we'll see what Clippert gives a sign here for Baston.
Delivery on the way, another fastball up, and again Ruscher stays alive. So looks like Baston wanting to keep that fastball up above his hands.
Why don't coach? You got to throw something off speed here, I would think.
Nobody on, nobody out. 1-2 the count on Ruscher. Pitch on the way, and the curveball in the dirt. Ruscher lays off, and it's evened up at 2-2.
Unfortunately, that was about a 57-footer, but he tried to get it in there. That's good to waste one. You're ahead of the hitter. Now it's 2-2.
River Ridge playing straightaway defensively. This time a fastball just misses. That'll run the count full. And a pretty good at bat here by Ruscher.
Yeah, he's doing a fine job. He's been fouling off the high strikes and went from 1-2 to a full count. We'll see what happens.
Baston into the windup. 3-2 pitch on the way. And it's just outside for ball 4.
That was a good fastball, but you're right. It must have just missed. And good at bat by Ruscher for a leadoff walk here in the top of the third.
Well, Bastion will have to work out of the stretch for the first time this afternoon. Again, we're in the third inning. River Ridge Scales Mound on top, 4-0, as the Eastland Cougars bat here with nobody out. Bastion into the stretch. Lartz, the lefty, takes a strike. And again, Bastion gets ahead 0-1. Merkel holding the runner on first. Bastion comes set, now goes to first. And Ruscher dives back in.
Yeah, Ruscher getting a pretty good lead over there, Greg, and we'll see if he's going to test Clippert's arm.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's popped down the left side and falls into foul territory untouched. And now Lartz down 0-2. Well, pitching coach Bob, what you going to throw here?
You got to throw a breaking ball, and that's why you might see a runner steal a base here. Although when you're down 4-0, you can't get thrown out. But we'll see.
Bastion comes down the middle with a fastball and gets a called third strike. So Lartz caught looking. That's the first out of the inning for Eastland. Ruscher remains at first with one away, and that'll bring up the right fielder, DJ Heron. As he checks down to the third base coach. Bastion comes set. Pitch on the way, right down the middle. Strike 1.
Yeah, it was a nice pitch. That was a little above the knees, perfect place.
You talk to many a pitching coach, and they say, what's the best pitch? And it's strike 1.
That's right. Get ahead of the hitter.
Bastion goes to first, keeping Ruscher honest there.
Well, Matt Baston's throwing a lot of fastballs, so if you're hitting, you got to be, I think, aggressive and ready for that first pitch and rip it if it's in the strike zone.
And the bunt laid down by Heron. Bastion fields it, throws him out at first, so the sacrifice is successful as Eastland moves Ruscher up to second base. But with 2 outs, that'll turn the lineup over for the Cougars, and Cougars looking for a base hit here to try to break the ice and get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, the center fielder, Zach Randecker's up, and he flew out to center field to Dauphin in the first, so let's hope he can come through here for Eastland.
2 outs, Ruscher the runner on second, top of the third inning. It's a 4-0 River Ridge Scales Mound lead. Bastion sets and fires that one a little bit high. 1-0 the count. Second pitch comes toward the plate. Randecker swings and pops it up. Clippert loses the mask, but that one's going to drift out of play. And the count evened up at 1-1.
Well, Matt Baston's having good luck with his fastball, and his curveball not been sharp. He hasn't had to throw it too many times, so I think you got to look fastball right here and watch me be wrong again. I haven't had one right yet. But
well, I think with the lead, you might very well be right. He's had success with the fastball, and let's see if they can hit it before he starts mixing things up. That fastball in the dirt, blocked by Clipper. That keeps the runner Ruscher at second.
Yeah, that was a very good job by Clipper. That was, like you said, a fastball in the dirt, and Clipper knocked it down, and Ruscher could not advance. But the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. So here's a good pitch to hit here. You got to be ready right here if you're Zach Randecker.
Clipper checks the runner at second. Comes set. Here's the pitch. Fastball drips outside.
Yeah, good eye. That was not a strike. So 3-1.
And now if you're the hitter, you got to think small zone.
Got to rip. You know you're going to get a fastball. I don't care. If he throws a curveball here, I'll retire from the booth.
Promise?
I'll lose my big salary, won't I? Yeah, probably. You'd like that, wouldn't you? A lot of people would.
3-1 the count. Baston comes set, checks runner at second. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike right down the middle. Almost looked like Randecker was taken all the way there.
Yep. High strike again. The umpire, and not complaining, he's consistent. Anything even above the letter seems like it's a strike. These kids got to know that.
3-2 pitch on the way, and this time Bastion misses low. So a pair of walks here in the third inning puts runners at first and second for Eastland. 2 away. The Cougars have yet to score. Again, River Ridge Scales Mound leading here 4-0, top of the third. As Nick Simpson, the shortstop, steps to the plate.
Yeah, Nick struck out in the first inning. See if he can come through here with 2 outs.
First pitch is low. We talked about Baston having good luck getting ahead of the hitters these last 2. He's fallen behind early.
Yeah, if I'm the catcher, I'd call timeout if he throws another bad pitch here. Kind of just settle your pitcher down. We'll see if Clippert does that.
Bastion gets the runner picked off at second. That got him in a rundown, and the throw is mishandled. The throw in the dirt to third was mishandled, and both Cougar runners advance.
Yeah, they definitely had him picked off in River Ridge Scales Mound. I believe that was the second baseman. Arroyo made a terrible throw to third base. Eastland dodged a bullet there, so now they have runners on second and third. The count, of course, 1-0, as he was definitely picked off, the runner was.
So Eastland has 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Simpson waits for the pitch, that one up and in. And it's now 2-0.
Yeah, you almost got to call time and talk to your pitcher here pretty soon, I would think.
So a base hit should score a pair with 2 outs. I don't think the runners will be hesitating. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that one misses low.
Well, that looked pretty good. Might have been outside. We can't tell from the angle where our booth is.
3-0 the count on Simpson. You got to think he'll probably have the red light here.
I'll guarantee that. I'll guarantee.
And he takes ball 4. So the bases are now full. The product of 3 walks issued by Bastion here in the third. Yet to allow a hit other than by a walk. And on cue, Bob, Coach Knauer coming out to the mound. He'll have a word with Matt Bastion.
Well, that's what's, I would say great about this game. What's confusing, what's the word I want to use? Baston, the first 2 innings, could do whatever he wanted to. And then all of a sudden, he just completely has lost it. Can't throw a strike. It's just like the plate has shrunk now. And so they're going to talk to him, settle him down. And basically, I'm guessing Coach Knauer is saying, hey, you got a 4-0 lead. You got good stuff. Just try to throw some strikes. Of course, he is trying. We know he's trying to. But so that'll bring up the third hitter, Haverland. He is the third baseman, and he flew out to center in the first inning, but now the bases are loaded.
So River Ridge hoping they don't have an episode of deja vu here. They led 4-1 down at Lanark on Tuesday, and then, as mentioned before, lost 5-4 in extra innings. Critical juncture in the game here as Haverland steps in with the bases loaded. It's a 4-0 River Ridge lead, 2 outs, top of the third. And again, Bastion misses low this time with a fastball. It's 1-0.
I always like hitters are aggressive, but now that Baston's lost control, I would take a pitch till they throw a strike. I would not be swinging here. Let him groove one down the middle of the plate and don't swing.
Not a bad strategy, and they do just that.
Yep. So now it's 1-1. But I think he's going to see nothing but fastballs. I mean, I don't think he's going to try to throw a breaking ball in the dirt and risk a wild pitch or a pass ball.
Bastion throws to third. Rusher back in plenty of time. Bastion probably not wanting Rusher to get too big of a lead just in case there is a pitch in the dirt. He comes set. 1-1 pitch on the way. And a swing and a miss. Another fastball looked like it was about knee-high on the inner half.
See, Baston, when he was pitching good, he was in the windup, but he's in the stretch now. He could wind up if he wanted to, but I'm kind of glad he's stretching. It keeps, like you said, it keeps that runner closer on third base.
1-2. Here's the pitch. And a fastball driven deep into right field. Brown back on it, way back, and it's out of here. That's a grand slam.
Yep. Well, my predictions, I knew there was going to be a home run from a left-handed hitter, and I knew the ground was hard as a rock, and what a big hit as that ball kept carrying. I thought that Brown maybe could get a beat on it, but no way, as Haverland just hit one out of the ballpark here in right field, and we have a brand-new ball game.
Haverland got behind in the count and got a pitch he could drive, got it up in that jet stream into the right field power alley, and it sailed over the fence, and we're tied up at 4.
And Greg, I've seen a fair amount of games here, and not many home runs are hitting this ballpark. The fence, it's a pretty good pitcher's ballpark, but Haviland, he's going to like it as he hit that one pretty well. And we have a brand new game as, again, the walks are killing the River Ridge pitcher.
And now a base hit into left field as Peyton Klaus keeps the rally going for Eastland.
That's aggressive hitting there. That was the first pitch, and he hit a nice line drive to left field. So
completely different situation now.
Unbelievable how this game has turned around. But walks will kill you, and all of a sudden, Matt Bassett could not throw a strike. And like I said, he is the ace of this ball club, and he's a very good pitcher. And he's got to hope he gets out of this and then can kind of regroup.
Josh Jacobs takes over at first base as the courtesy runner for the catcher Klaus, as Tanner Geed fouls one off. And that home run by Haverland, the first hit for Eastland as well.
In this game, and that's something.
Here comes the pitch. This one grounded to short. Brown with it. Throws to first in the dirt. Gets away from Merkel. And the runner will advance to third. So following the throwing error, Eastland now has runners at first and third with 2 outs, tied up at 4.
Well, I wonder if Brown could have went to second for the forcer. I'm not sure. I wasn't really watching how close it was, but that's definitely the shorter throw. But E6 in the book, and Eastland still going. This is their 9th hitter up in this inning. And 4 runs on only 2 hits so far.
Ethan Christians, the freshman first baseman, steps into the box. He struck out his first time up. And another pivotal at bat in this game.
Getting his sign from his manager, and I'm thinking the sign is hit the ball. Make sure it's a strike and rip it. Unless they try some type of double steal or something here.
Fake to third and look to first does Bastion. Nothing doing as both the Cougar runners stay put. Again, Eastland with runners on first and third, 2 outs here, top of the third. We're tied at 4. Bastion into the stretch. Comes home. And Christian drives one into right field. It's slicing. Nate Brown over, and he makes a nice running catch. And that'll end the 3rd inning. After 3.5, it is Eastland 4, River Ridge Scales Mound 4. We're back after this timeout on WCCI. Welcome back once again to River Ridge High School alongside Bob Dittmer. This is Greg Underwood. Our engineer back at the WCCI studios is Leslie Smith. We're tied up at 4 runs apiece here as we start the bottom of the third. River Ridge coming to bat. Brandon Brown, the shortstop, will lead things off. He reached and scored in that 4-run first when it looked like River Ridge kind of had the game in hand early on, but things sure changed that last half inning.
Great job by Eastland, scoring 4 runs on 2 hits in the top of the third to tie this game up.
Brown fouls one out of play down the right field side.
Yeah, Brown in the first inning reached on an error by the left fielder. And we're the unofficial book, but that's what we called it. And he did score in that first inning.
The 1-1 pitch by Geed on the way, and Brown takes a strike. And he's down in the count, 1-2. Geed works out of the windup. The 1-2 pitch on the way. That one drifts well outside, and we're evened up at 2-2.
So who's running the camera right now for River Ridge TV?
I'm not quite sure. There's
Yes,
a couple young fellas over there.
You mentioned that. Come on, that's your son. He's doing a good job.
2-2 pitch on the way from Geed, and Brown swings and misses. And that's strike 3, the first out of the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, Geed blew a fastball right by Brown, and Geed's got the adrenaline flowing now after being down 4-0. Now it's 4-4. He's got his second life, doesn't he? He looked real good on that pitch.
Got a fastball above the hands and got Brown to chase. As Matt Bastian steps into the box, the cleanup hitter takes strike 1.
Yeah, Matt had a single and an RBI in the first inning, so he's officially 1 for 1. He wants to help himself out here after giving up 4 runs in that top of the third.
He takes a big cut, swings and misses, and quickly it's 0-2 on the cleanup hitter. Bottom of the third, long way to go here in this one. Bastian takes that pitch up and away. I think Geed was trying to do the same thing to Bastian that he did to Brandon Brown, trying to go up and away with a 2-strike fastball.
We'll see if Geed throws anything breaking ball here.
Nope. Fastball away, and the count's evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Geed into the wind. This is off speed.
That might fall in.
Bastian gets under it. A blooper into center, but Randecker racing under it. He corrals it for out number 2.
Yeah, Randecker got a good beat on it, saw it well into that sun. No problem.
2 down, nobody on here in the bottom of the third. As Nate Brown, the right fielder, will step in.
Nate had a single in the first inning. That might have been the bad hop one. I can't remember, but he's 1 for 1.
And he swings at the first pitch. This is blooping behind the shortstop and falls in for a base hit.
Bloop single. Looks like a line drive in the book, though, and Brown 2 for 2. So a 2-out hit for Nate Brown brings up Austin Coots.
Hit them where they ain't, they say.
Right. Coots grounded out to third in the first inning. We'll see if Brown, he's got some decent speed. We'll see if he tries to get on second by a stolen base. We'll see what happens.
And Geed thinking the same thing as he throws over to first before he delivers a pitch to Coots. Nate Brown with the lead. Geed comes set. There he goes. Pitch in the dirt. He'll get to second easily. Slides.
Yep. Brown had a big jump, but the ball did get behind the catcher on a pitch into the dirt. But he was already starting to slide, so there's no way he could get up and try to go to third. And he wouldn't have made it. I mean, the screen's not that far back. So stolen base for Nate Brown. He's in scoring position for Coots.
Well, a base hit here could give the Wildcats the lead. Geed checks the runner, comes home. Coots takes one just off the plate. And it's 2-0. So Coots can afford to be a little bit picky here. Look for a pitch he can drive, try to pick up that run. 2-0 pitch on the way. He takes a cut at it to the second baseman.
Throw it away.
And he pulled the first baseman off the bag.
He should be safe at first, and the first baseman didn't throw it home.
And in the process, Nate Brown comes around and scores.
Man. So that's definitely an E4. That was the second baseman, right?
Correct.
Yep, E4, and I'm not sure why first baseman Christian didn't look at home plate, but a break for River Ridge Scales Mound as they now have the lead back.
I think Christian's held the bag as long as he could and wasn't quite sure at first what the call was.
Well, if the umpire's got to be screaming out or safe, but he should have quick got up and looked home, but
Geed comes home, and the pitch to Cordy a little high. He offers at it and misses.
Yeah, Jack Cordy is in the first inning, double and an RBI, had a nice hit.
So with that run, River Ridge Scales Mound back on top, 5-4. As Cordy swings and misses, he's now down 0-2. Geed comes set, checks the runner at first. Pitch on the way. Cordy fouls this one off to stay alive. As River Ridge tries to keep the two-out rally going, Eastland trying to get that third out. And a ball in the dirt swung at and fouled off.
Because he got a piece of it. I didn't know that, but that's what they said. He fouled it off. It was definitely a ball, but way low. I don't know how he got his bat on that because it kind of almost like a bounce in front of the plate.
So Cordy stays alive. He's still down 0-2 here. Geed goes to first. Coots back easily. Plenty of good seats still available here if you're in the area.
Cheap, too.
Geed goes to first again. And again, Coots back in plenty of time.
And food. Don't forget the food. Right below us.
How can we forget? Geed's offering on the way. This time, Cordy makes good contact. It finds Green out there in front of the right fielder. Coots round second, coming to third. He'll make it in without a throw. And Cordy with another base hit.
Well, that's a great job by Cordy, who was down 0-2 and came back and got a base hit. So here comes a two-out rally for River Ridge Scales Mound as Cordy now is on first. Coots gets to third. That's up to the big guy, the first baseman, Sam Merkel, who grounded out to the pitcher in that first inning.
So River Ridge doing some damage here with two outs, and they're not done yet. We'll see what Sam Merkel has to say about the outcome of this inning. Geed's pitch on the way. It's down, ball one. We'll see if the Wildcats put Cordy in motion over there at first. Here's the pitch. He stays put. And it's strike one. That evens the count at 1-1. So Geed made pretty quick work of the first two batters. As the delayed steal gets Cordy over to second.
Yeah, that pitch was kind of low, but Merkel swung and missed, and now count is 1-2. So looking pretty good for Geed here. Plus, Merkel got a big strike zone. He's a tall kid.
Geed's pitch on the way. And that one's in the dirt, but a nice stop by the catcher.
Great stop on a backhand by Klaus. Close, am I pronouncing that right?
Klaus,
good job. That definitely would have been a wild pitch, but he did a great job.
So a 2-2 pitch on its way. Merkel takes a cut at it, grounds it in the hole between short and third. One run in. Runner around third. He's coming home, and he'll be held up.
Good job by Knauer because he would have been nailed at home. The left fielder doing a good job. That's Ruscher coming in. But that was a base hit. Again, this ground is so hard. You see how it came right through the hole like that. It is hard and fast, this infield.
So Merkel comes through with a 2-strike hit. And the two-out rally for the Wildcats continues. As it's now 6-4 River Ridge here in the bottom of the third. 2 outs as Zach Stottle steps in.
Stottle grounded out to the second baseman in the second inning.
Here's the pitch. Up and in, no good. A big hole on the right side of the infield is the second baseman really cheating towards second base. And Christian's the first baseman holding Merkel on.
Well, you're right. If he can hit anything to right field and on the ground, it's going to be a base hit. Almost like a shift, isn't it? Like a big power hitter here.
Ball 2 now on Stottle. It's 2-0. Pitch on the way. Taken all the way. It's 2-1. So Eastland giving away a lot of real estate there on that right side. Geeds 2-1 pitch on the way. This one inside that runs the count to 3-1. Stottle waits for the 3-1 offering from Geed. It's on the way. He takes a cut at it, pops one into short center field, and it finds Green as well. Merkel comes around second. He'll get to third without a throw. And another run scores as Cordy crosses the plate.
Texas League single again, a bloop single, and they're falling. So, again, a big 2-out rally here by River Ridge Scales Mound.
3 runs scored after 2 outs, and it's now 7-4 River Ridge. The first 2 batters in this third inning went down, and River Ridge didn't. Brendan Dauphin, the leadoff man up. First pitch high, ball 1.
Well, Dauphin's one of their best hitters. He's batting .373, and he's got a lot of speed. He's the guy you want up there if you're for the Wildcats.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. He takes a cut and misses, evens the count at 1-1.
I think he wanted that one. He's kind of mad that he missed that one.
Merkel on third, Stottle at first, 2 outs, 7-4 is the River Ridge lead here in the bottom of the third. Geed comes set, checks the runners. Pitch on the way. Dauphin takes a swing, goes down the left field line, and that lands fair. That'll score 1. And the runners will hold at first and second. And Stottle catches a break as he took a big turn around second. The throw to the second baseman was mishandled, or he may very well have committed the third out there.
What a tremendous 2-out rally here for River Ridge Scales Mound. Unbelievable. Coach Canauer is going to be very pleased with his team. They have now scored 4 runs after 2 outs. Like you said, the first 2 guys got out in this inning, and been an error, and here comes the Wildcats.
8-4 River Ridge as Clippert steps in. The first pitch is a wild pitch in the dirt. And Stottle and Dauphin will both advance 90 feet. Geed's thrown a lot of pitches here in this third inning.
He really has. This third inning's been bad for both pitchers. It's been long. What a long third inning.
So Eastland scored 4 in the top of the third to tie it up at 4. And River Ridge comes right back with 4 more of their own in the bottom of the third, and they might not be done. Runners at second and third. Clippert gets into one. Shortstop fields it. The throw to first is in time. And that's how the third inning ends. At the end of 3 complete, here at River Ridge High School, it is River Ridge Scales Mound 8, Eastland 4. You're listening to high school boys basketball on your area sports leader, WCCI.
Well, it's kind of funny that in the third inning, top of the third, Eastland had 9 guys come to the plate and scored 4 runs, and in the bottom of the third, River Ridge Scales Mountain had 9 guys come to the plate and scored 4 runs.
Well, Bastion gets the first out relatively easily as Jacob Ruscher rolls one back to Bastion. He throws him out at first, and there's one away here in the top of the fourth. That'll bring up Will Lartz, the DH. He struck out looking in his first at bat. Bastion's first pitch, a fastball, and he got ahead again. Strike one as Lartz waves and misses at that first pitch. Second one on the way, strike two. So Bastion in the groove early here in the fourth inning.
He's going to work quickly. Another fastball here and way up high.
So the 0-2 pitch a little high. Lartz lays off. The 1-2 pitch on the way even higher. And now we're evened up at 2. And we don't have the stats, Bob, but it's been a large percentage of fastballs thrown by Bastion today.
Both pitchers. We have not seen hardly any break-em balls, and there's another fastball, ball 3. So Bastion was ahead of the hitter, Lartz 0-2, now it's 3-2. That's got to be driving Coach Knauer a little crazy.
Bastion into the wind. The 3-2 pitch swung on and missed. Or, they're going to say he got a piece of it.
Must have foul tipped it and off the catcher's chest protection and on the ground. So Lartz will have another chance here.
So if you're Bastion here, you just want to throw strikes. Pound that zone. The next 3-2 offering right down the middle, called strike 3. And just like that, Eastland with 2 outs in the top of the fourth. And after that third inning, I'm sure Bastion's hoping he can get through the fourth relatively quickly.
Yep.
DJ Heron into the box. First pitch, a strike.
Yeah, DJ had a sacrifice bunt in that last inning, that third inning, as Bastion just threw him a fastball, one of his best fastballs of the game. That ball had a little mustard on it.
0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. This one up and away, 1-1. Talk about fastballs. Bartolo Colon, now of the Mets, having a resurgent year. I saw that he's thrown 88% fastballs this year.
Well, and he's no young guy, is he? The Mets are having a great. Between innings or when have time, we can talk about the Brewers, the worst team in baseball. We could talk about the Cubs doing pretty good.
Bastion finds the zone there and evens the count at 2-2. Heron steps in, Bastion into the wind. The pitch, strike 3.
Boy, blew that right by him.
Heron swings through it in a 1-2-3 inning for Bastion. After 4.5, the score, River Ridge Scales Mountain 8, Eastland 4. You're listening to high school baseball on your area sports leader, WCCI. School, as WCCI's coverage of boys high school baseball continues in what has been a game of rallies, spurts.
Yes.
As we move into the bottom of the fourth, it's River Ridge leading Eastland 8-4. The Wildcats jumped out to a 4-0 lead after one. Eastland answered with 4 runs in the top of the third, and then the Wildcats stormed back with 4 runs after 2 outs in the bottom of the third, and that's where we stand right now. 8-4, bottom of the fourth, as Brandon Brown will lead things off. Be his third trip to the plate this afternoon. Second pitch in the dirt, that evens the count at 1-1.
Oh, man. Never a dull moment.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the screen's been freezing.
Uh-oh. Well, that's okay. We can get caught up.
Okay, I'll put you back on the pad here. Okay, now we're in an ad.
That's fine. Back once again here at River Ridge High School. And as we return to live action, Brandon Brown lines a base hit into left field, so he leads off the fourth inning with a hit. Geed throws over there, trying to keep Brown close. We don't have the pitch count, Bob, but Geed's thrown a lot of pitches.
Yeah, he has. And who usually comes in relief, we don't know.
As Brandon Brown bluffs a steal, Eastland with the pitch out, nothing doing. And the count 1-0 on Baston. Baston with a single and a fly ball to center field. And another pitch out.
Wow. Well, I don't think they want to throw anything to Baston anyhow. I think this is almost like an intentional walk. Baston is by far the best hitter on the team, so I'm not sure he's going to get much to see. Maybe I'm wrong. You're down by 4.
Brown goes, pitch in the dirt. He'll be up without a throw. He rounds second, thinks about coming to third, but the catcher scampers after it.
And now the count's 3-0 on Baston, so I got a feeling they're going to walk him now. I would throw nothing near the plate to this guy.
With first base open, a 3-0 count on Bastion. Brandon Brown on second, being held there by Bradley Johnson. Geed into the stretch, and Bastion swings 3-0, fouls it out.
Yep, 3-0. I'd have him green light too, and he swung and fouled it back. Good aggressive coaching by Knauer.
Well, with a 4-run lead here and a runner in scoring position and your cleanup hitter up, you got to figure they're going to be disciplined enough to look for a good pitch.
And Baston's only hitting .435 this year, so why not?
Geed checks the runner at second, looks again, now comes home. And again, Bastion fouls one back.
That may have been low. All the umpires been calling those low strikes, but fouled it back. Now the count's full. So Baston definitely has to protect. He does not want a backwards K. He wants anything close. He better be swinging.
3-2 pitch on the way, and Bastion fouls off yet another.
Well, he's seeing nothing but fastballs, so don't be surprised he gets a pretty good hit right here. We'll see what happens.
River Ridge with a runner in scoring position, nobody out. Bottom of the fourth, they have an 8-4 lead. Brown leads away from second. And Bastion gets a hold of one. It's going deep. The center fielder tracks it. He's there and hauls it in. Brown went halfway, so he had to return to second base on a deep fly out to center field by Matt Baston.
He has a nice job by Randecker. He's a good outfielder. I mean, this is the first time I've seen Eastland play, but he's doing everything right out there in center field. He got a very good jump on a ball that was hit real well by Baston, and so good job by Zach Randecker.
Randecker settled under that one, maybe 10 or 15 feet from the fence. And now there's one out. Brandon Brown remains at second. Nate Brown up. He grounds one to the right side. The second baseman has trouble with it. He recovers just in time to get Nate Brown out. And on the play, Brandon Brown advances to third.
Well, that brings up Austin Coots with 2 outs. And again, I'm telling the runner on third with 2 outs get a huge jump here. And I'm sure that's what Coach Knauer is telling Brown, who's got some decent speed, that we know that Geed will be in the stretch. But anything gets by that catcher, you got to be scoring here.
So Coots kept that third inning rally alive with a ground ball to second that was mishandled. Now he lifts one deep into center field. Randecker settling under it, and the center fielder puts it away. 3 outs in the bottom of the fourth. At the end of 4, it's River Ridge Scales Mount 8, Eastland 4. You're listening to Boys High School Baseball on WCCI. Welcome back to River Ridge High School alongside big baseball fan Bob Dittmer. This is Greg Underwood. And Bob, this has been an interesting game after a very eventful third inning. Both teams went relatively quiet in the fourth.
Well, we know it's a long ways from being over. Even though it's 8-4 in the top of the fifth, Eastland can put a lot of runs up in a hurry. So if you're for River Ridge Scales Mountain, you want your pitcher throwing strikes. And if I'm Eastland, I'm looking for fastballs on every pitch and be aggressive at the plate.
So Matt Bastian starts here in the top of the fifth with an 8-4 lead. And the Cougars' leadoff hitter, Zach Randecker, the center fielder, steps in, and he takes ball 1 low and in the dirt.
Zach flew out to center in the first inning, walked in the third.
This time he grounds one or sends one to left. And going back on it and catching it is Cordy. We're a little bit obstructed here. But Cordy did a nice job tracking that ball. And there's one away in the top of the fifth. That'll bring up Nick Simpson, the shortstop. He struck out and walked today. His walk turned out to be a big one.
Yep.
As it set the table for Haverland's grand slam, which really changed the momentum, at least momentarily.
Sure did. That was nice home run. All home runs are nice, but that was grand slams are special when you got the bases loaded. Good for him.
Simpson takes a strike, and that evens up the count 1-1. As he steps out and looks down to third base.
Are all these fans here to watch us?
I think so. We have quite a cheering section here. Bastian sends one toward the plate, and Simpson fouls it back out of play over the screen. And he's down in the count 1-2. Next pitch on the way. Oh, and Simpson gets a piece of it to stay alive. He fouled that off. Matt Clippert looked in his glove and didn't see the ball. So Simpson has new life here. Bastian shakes off Clippert. And this time he throws a breaking ball that Simpson swings and misses for strike 3.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do is try to mix them up, and he did a good job there. Bastian did. As that ball was low and away, but good pitch. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the fifth.
Well, Bastian went through the order twice, not showing his off-speed pitches very much. So it's something new to these hitters as they see him for the third time. And he starts off Haverland with a curveball.
Well, that's where I would throw Haverland, too, after hitting that ball to opposite field. I was thinking Haverland was a left-handed hitter, but that ball was the opposite field, that home run, wasn't it?
Yep.
I didn't realize that till right now.
A 1-2 pitch he took the other way.
Well, that's pretty good. When you go the other way, it could hit a home run. And we might mention Haverland wears number 20. We don't have his height, but I would say he's got to be at least 6'2", 6'3". He's a big, tall, lanky kid. 6'5". Wow.
The 0-1 pitch, fastball in the dirt, evens it up at 1-1. Here's the next offering, another breaking pitch. This time Haverland doesn't offer.
Well, he did a good job to stay off that curveball.
So after that 4-run third inning, Bastian's come back and retired 6 in a row. And he gets Haverland down in the count. As the second strike called, we're even at 2-2. And he swings at the curveball in the dirt. Clippert throws to first on the drop third and gets him. So a good inning for Matt Bastian as the Cougars go down 1-2-3 in the fifth. At the end of 4.5, it is River Ridge Scales Mound 8, Eastland 4. Back after the sports timeout on WCCI. Welcome back once again to River Ridge High School on a sunny Thursday afternoon, the last day of April.
A beautiful day. Absolutely perfect.
High school baseball underway as we enter the bottom of the fifth inning. It's the home team River Ridge Scales Mound Wildcats holding an 8-4 lead on the visiting Eastland Cougars. River Ridge struck first, scoring 4 in the bottom of the first. Eastland came back and scored 4 in the top of the third on a grand slam by Brighton Haverland. And then the Wildcats answered with 4 more of their own in the bottom of the third. And that's where we stand as we enter the bottom of the fifth inning. It's 8-4 River Ridge. And Jack Cordy steps in to start things off for the Cats. Ball 1. Second pitch grounded to the right side. Sunday hop for the second baseman. He flips it over to first. And Cordy retired on the ground out 4-3. So a 2-pitch out for Geed as he's labored through a couple tough innings and had a couple really good innings too.
Well, I got the unofficial hits here, and River Ridge has out-hit. River Ridge Scales Mound has out-hit Eastland 10-2.
Sam Merkel gets into one. He drives one in the left center field gap, and that'll get down for extra bases. Merkel rounding first. He's on his way to second, and he slides in just ahead of the tag with a double.
Good job by Sam Merkel. That ball's carrying today, Craig. It really is. That ball, like you said, split the center fielder and left fielder and went to the fence. So the big guy, Sam Merkel, the first baseman, is on at second with the double with 1 out.
Merkel had a big 2-out single in that 4-run third, and now he's at second with 1 out here in the fifth. Stottle at the plate takes strike 1. Geed with the ball at the mound. He comes set, checks Merkel at second. Now the pitch to the plate is high. Stottle ducks under that one. River Ridge again with a runner in scoring position, less than 2 outs. Geed holds it for a long time. Now he comes home. And that's a strike as Stottle lets that one go. 1-2 the count. Stottle also with a hit there in that 4-run third inning. Geed steps off the rubber. Merkel walks back to second. Behind in the count 1 and 2. We'll see what Geed has in mind this time. And he steps off again.
Well, good for Merkel if you're, a Wildcat fan, because he's getting into Geed's head here at second base, and he disrupted him. And
Geed comes set quickly. Now comes the plate, and it's a high pop-up on the right side. That's going to be trouble, and it falls in fair territory. So another bloop single, this time Zach Stottle the beneficiary. And Merkel advances to third, so runners at first and third with 1 out.
Yeah, Merkel did the right thing. He couldn't just take off on that. He wanted to make sure the first baseman, second baseman, or right fielder didn't catch that. It was in between all three of them, and so Merkel advances 90 feet as River Ridge Scales Mountain has runners on first and third now with 1 out, with the top of the order up, Brendan Dolphin.
Well, the Wildcats have a lot of options here. First and third, 1 out. Eastland playing back. Double play depth up the middle. Behind the bag at third.
Well, Dolphin's a pretty good bunter, too. Do you do a suicide here? Do you lay one down?
Now he puts one in play, goes to the shortstop, flips it to second for 1, and Dolphin beats out the relay, so he'll get the RBI on the fielder's choice. And it's now 9-4 Wildcats.
That was a good slide by Stottle at second to prevent the double play. He hit a nice slide at second, hard slide.
So Eastland was hoping for a ground ball like that. The ground ball just not hit quite hard enough to turn the double play on the speedy Dolphin.
That's right. Dolphin's one of the fastest guys of the team, but you're right. He gets on the fielder's choice and pick him off.
He got caught leaning and he got back just under the tag. The Eastland bench sure thought they had him.
Well, the Eastland fans over there have a best look at it, and they thought he was out.
We got the replay on that.
River Ridge TV, right? RiverRidge210.org. You can watch
they got him this time.
Yep, got him in the arm. Picked him off.
So Geed picks Dolphin off first, and that's how the 5th inning ends. With the score, River Ridge Scales Mountain 9, Eastland 4. Back for the 6th inning after this timeout on WCCI. You're listening to high school baseball on WCCI as we enter the top of the 6th inning. It's River Ridge Scales Mountain with a 9-4 lead over the visiting Eastland Cougars, along with Bob Dittmer. This is Greg Underwood, and a beautiful day to watch some baseball.
Couldn't be better.
Well, it could be 75 and no wind.
Oh, it's only what is the temperature? We didn't ask Leslie. I'd say about 60 when I got here, I think.
A beautiful day nonetheless.
Oh, it's great.
So as we start the top of the 6th inning, Peyton Klaus, the catcher and cleanup hitter for the Eastland Cougars, will lead things off. As Matt Bastian starts his 6th inning of work, a high pop-up, Bastian under it on the mound. And coming in behind him to snag it is the shortstop, Brandon Brown.
Yeah, that's a shortstop's ball. He's got to be screaming for that. And even though it's the pitcher's right there, the rule of thumb is pitcher get out of the way.
Well, it's much easier for the infielder coming in than the pitcher drifting back. And
so I'm not sure if Brandon wasn't calling for it or if anybody called for it, but luckily for River Ridge Scales Mountain, Brown caught it.
That was a sky-high
about another
pop-up.
one?
They get another one. Brown drifting over for this one as well.
Well, it's the Brandon Brown show here in the top of the sixth. 2 pop-outs to the shortstop. 2 quick outs for River Ridge Wildcats. River Ridge Scales Mound Wildcats.
2 pitches, 2 pop-outs.
Kind of like that if you're for the home team.
And Matt Bastian even cracked a smile after that one.
Ethan Christian, the first baseman, he hopes he can get a hit here. He struck out in the second, flew out to right field in the third. Almost got hit by an inside fastball.
2 outs, nobody on. Top of the sixth. It's a 9-4 Wildcats lead as Christians takes a strike. Bastian into the line. This pitch inside, and now the count's run 2-1. Christians asks for time, steps out. Both starting pitchers have gone the distance thus far. Bastian's delivery high. And now Christian's way ahead. It's a 3-1 count. And the fastball a little low, and Christians draws the 2-out walk.
After being ahead of the count, was it 0-2 or 1-2? Christians did a good job, and he's on at first. And here we go again, kind of like that third inning. Are they going to score 4 runs now?
Well, in the third inning, Eastland had a leadoff walk, then 2 quick outs, and then 2 more walks before the home run. And Coach Knauer is going to make a visit to the pitcher's mound. Probably more just to talk to Matt Bastian than to talk about any strategy. Just to recap things again, it was the River Ridge Scales Mound Wildcats that struck first with a 4-run first inning. Eastland got on the board in a big way in the top of the third as Brighton Haverland cracked a grand slam, the first Eastland hit of the day, to tie it up at 4. Wildcats responded with 4 runs in the bottom of the third, added 1 more in the bottom of the fifth, and right now hold a 9-4 lead with 2 outs in the sixth.
That brings up Jacob Ruscher. He's the left fielder. Walked in the third inning, grounded out to the pitcher in the fourth inning.
First pitch a strike. And judging by Ruscher's response, I think they were playing take one there. That was a pitch I think he would have liked to have swung at. Bastian into the stretch. Comes home. And this time, a looping drive just in front of the right fielder will drop in for a base hit. As Ruscher comes up with his first hit of the afternoon. That'll put runners at first and second with 2 away, and the DH Will Arts coming to the plate.
Will Arts is due. He looked at strike 3 in the third, looked at strike 3 in the fourth. So 0 for 2, and the DH Lartz is due.
We're making a substitution. It looks like Lartz isn't going to get a chance to bat here.
You're right.
Connor Erbson will step to the plate. He'll be pinch hitting for Lartz.
Connor wears number 15, right-handed hitter. See if Eastland can do another 2-out rally here. Runners on first and second. 2 outs here in the top of the sixth.
Bastian comes set. His pitch to the plate is low and in, ball 1. 9-4 the River Ridge lead here in the top of the sixth. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung at and grounded in the hole. It gets through. And coming in quickly is Cordy. And Eastland unable to score, but that will load the bases on the seeing eye single.
That's exactly what I was
by
going to say.
Erbson.
Seeing eye single right between the third baseman and the shortstop. Put it where they're not, and he did. Good job by Erbson. So the bases are now loaded, and a good job by Cordy charging that base hit. The coach for Eastland did a good job in holding up the runner on third.
So the base is loaded, 2 outs. And what looked like it might have been a real quick inning for Matt Bastion. He got 2 outs on the first 2 pitches of the inning. Now he's in a little bit of a jam.
Yep, and walked a batter and then 2 hits, and here comes DJ Heron. He sacrificed bunt in the 3rd and struck out in the 4th.
Bastion working out of the stretch. First pitch sails high.
So all of a sudden, again, Matt Baston struggling, trying to throw strikes, and Eastland wants to take advantage of that. Get right back in this ballgame, driving some runs right here.
Bastion's second offering. At the knees over the middle of the plate for strike 1. And the count evened up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Not sure what's going on.
I think just some housekeeping regarding a pinch runner.
Pinch runner for Erbsen. And you catch a number there?
Oh, Bradley Johnson, the second baseman, will enter the game as the pinch runner, as that's who they were DHing for. 2 outs, bases loaded, 1-1 the count on Heron. 9-4 is the River Ridge lead. Bastion from the stretch, checks the runners, comes home. And a ball grounded to second. Arroyo bobbles it.
Man.
And everybody's safe. And a run will score.
Yeah, he's got to have that. There's an E4. Big break for Eastland. They'll take it. Everybody moves up 90 feet.
It's now 9-5. Eastland cuts that lead down to 4. And the bases remain loaded. And the Cougars back to the top of the lineup with Zach Randecker.
Randecker 0 for 2. He flew out to center in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and flew out to left field in the 5th. Maybe this one will go to right field. He's spraying him around.
Bastion's first pitch is fouled off by Randecker. 0-1. Bases loaded, 9-5 the score here, top of the 6th. Randecker facing an 0-1 count as Bastion delivers. This one popped up, and that's going to reach the bleachers as well. 0-2 the count on Randecker. What you throwing here, Bob?
I'd say you got to reach back and just throw it by him now. You got to throw strikes. Bases are loaded. You can't mess around. I'd like to, if you're pitching, throw a good curveball here, but it could get by the catcher. Let's play some hard ball. Throw number 1 here and throw it right by him if you're for.
Bastion tries the breaking ball. Randecker doesn't offer.
Good eye by Randecker for not swinging at that.
Bastion had that one in a good spot, but Randecker laid off. It's now 1-2. Pitch on the way. Another breaking ball. Up the middle. That's a base hit. That's going to score at least 1. Johnson around 3rd, and he'll be held as the throw by Dauphin comes in quickly. So Randecker with the base hit, and another run by Eastland makes it 9-6.
Great job by Randecker. Another breaking ball, and he was ready for it that time and got the single up the middle. Just like that, here comes the Cougars.
Nick Simpson now steps in with the bases loaded.
Nick struck out in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th.
Tying run at first, the go-ahead run at the plate. As Bastion gets ahead with a fastball at the knees. Again, it looked like Simpson was taking all the way there. And you can't necessarily argue with that strategy here. Bastion's 0-1 pitch low and in the dirt. Nice stop by Clippert. And the count's evened up at 1-1. Bastion comes set. And this one's hit into center field. That's going to find the gap.
That's going to tie the game.
It goes to the screen. Nate Brown picks it up. Randecker around 3rd. Here comes the throw. He scores. And we're all tied up on a triple by Nick Simpson.
And nobody at 3rd. So, what a great play. Simpson, a triple, ties this game up. He hit one between the right fielder and the center fielder, all the way to the fence, and what a great play. 3 RBIs for Simpson. The Eastland crowd very pleased. Again, all this with 2 outs, errors, walks, and we got a brand new ball game again. And if you're River Ridge Scales Mound, you've got to get the next guy out, because 90 feet away is Nick Simpson for Eastland try to take the lead here.
Well, you got to wonder if they'll pitch to Haverland here with first base open. And they won't. They'll send him right down to first base on the intentional walk.
That screws up our score sheet now, doesn't it?
And Haverland races into second after the intentional walk. So now they got runners second and third with 2 outs. Tie ball game. And the catcher, Peyton Klaus. 2 runners in scoring position.
Now they're discussing it. On an intentional walk, is it a dead ball, and can he go to second? That's what they're discussing right now. Yep.
That's exactly it.
Well, Mike Dittmar knew that call. He can't go to second on an intentional walk. So back to first base goes the star of the game right now for Eastland. That's Nick Simpson. Excuse me. I'm wrong on all the players. My sheet looks pretty bad here.
Well, Nick Simpson's on third. Brighton Haverland's on first. And regardless of whether Haverland's at first or second, the go-ahead run at third with 2 outs. And Peyton Klaus, who started off this 6th inning with a harmless pop-up to the shortstop.
First 2 batters were out. Unbelievable.
Haverland goes. The throw down to second goes into center field. And Simpson will score.
Wow.
On the stolen base by Haverland.
And the throw went over the second baseman's head, so.
And now Eastland with a 10-9 lead here in the top of the 6th. Bastion into the stretch. And a ground ball to third. Coots fields it cleanly. His throw to first in the dirt, dug out of there by Merkel. And that will end the 6th. At the end of 5.5 innings of play, it's now Eastland 10, River Ridge Scales Mound 9. You're listening to high school baseball on WCCI. Scoring and lead changes and why we love baseball without the clock, because River Ridge had a couple big leads, looked like they were in the driver's seat, and Eastland's come storming back both times. And as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning, it's Eastland holding a 10-9 lead. Again, River Ridge struck first with 4 runs in the first. Eastland tied it with 4 runs in the third. River Ridge then with 4 runs in the bottom of the third took an 8-4 lead. They tacked on another one in the bottom of the 5th. River Ridge led 9-4 going into the top of the 6th. The first 2 Eastland Cougars popped out on 2 pitches.
That's right.
And then a 5-run 2-out rally.
Errors and walks and hits and you name it. We saw everything here. Good job by the Eastland Cougars.
So Eastland on top, 10-9. As we enter the bottom of the 6th, Matt Clippert, the catcher, and number 2 hitter will lead it off for the Wildcats against Geed. First pitch a strike, taken right down the middle. This is Clippert's 4th trip to the plate. He's 1 for 3 today. He finds a pitch he can drive and sends it up the middle for a leadoff base hit. And Bob, I have a funny feeling this isn't going to be the final score.
Don't even say it. It's not going to be set. I know what you're going to say. We're supposed to play 7 innings. I got a feeling the lights will be on before this game's over with. That was a nice hit by Clippert, the catcher. He's got a courtesy runner now. It's a leadoff single for the Wildcats.
That'll bring Brandon Brown to the plate. And he gets a pitch he can handle. That's going to find the gap between right and center as Randecker cuts it off, holds Brown to a single, and holds the other runner at second. So a couple quick hits for the Wildcats. They've got the go-ahead run on base, and their number 4 hitter stepping up to the plate. But before that happens, it looks like Coach Burkholder is going to have a mound visit. And we'll see if Geed will continue or if he's going to go to the pen. And as we mentioned, Bob, Geed's thrown a lot of pitches here this afternoon.
My arm hurts watching him.
And we will, in fact, have a pitching change as Nick Simpson, the shortstop, will take over on the mound. We'll take this opportunity to take a break as well. Top of the 6th, it's Eastland 10. Bottom of the 6th, it's Eastland 10, River Ridge 9. Back in 30 seconds on WCCI. Welcome back to River Ridge High School along with Bob Dittmer. This is Greg Underwood as we bring you high school baseball on a sunny Thursday afternoon, the last day of April. And the Eastland Cougars currently hold a 10-9 lead on the River Ridge Scales Mound Wildcats as we're in the bottom of the 6th. Tanner Geed pitched 5 complete innings. The first 2 batters in this bottom of the 6th, Matt Clippert and Brandon Brown, each singled. And Eastland has gone to the pen as they call on the shortstop, Nick Simpson, to come in and try to put out the River Ridge rally. And we've had a lot of critical points or turning points in this game, and I don't think it's over yet.
Well, I guarantee Matt Baston will not be bunting these guys over. Guarantee.
Guarantee it, huh?
Guarantee it. If it would have been somebody in the bottom of the lineup, they would be bunting. But when you got your cleanup hitter up, he's going to be chomping at the bit here. He's Matt Baston singled in the first, flew out to center fielder in the third, and flew out in the fourth. So he's 1 for 3.
Well, here's the first pitch, and it's up and in. So Simpson's first pitch misses the zone. Baston had to duck out of the way of that one. 1-0. Simpson comes set. And Bastion drives one over to the second baseman. And
tag him?
Second baseman attempted the tag of the runner as he went by.
Boy.
And they're saying he was safe. So it amounts to moving the runners along on the ground out to second.
Well, that's a good job by Johnson thinking, trying to tag that runner, but now they got to argue. They going to discuss this with the umpire, or are they just going to talk to the pitcher? They're going to discuss it with the ump, maybe.
And in retrospect, you kind of wonder if you would have shoveled that to short if they wouldn't have got the double play.
Or at least got the lead runner out. I think they're saying he missed him, and he's going to say that was he out of the baseline? No.
Coach Burkholder thinks he got him. The umpire thinks otherwise. So that's the first out here in the bottom of the 6th as the runners advance 90 feet. Wildcats with runners at second and third, 1 out, and Nate Brown at the plate.
Danny Brown is 2 for 3, singled in the first, singled in the third, grounded out to the second baseman in the fourth.
And a base hit here would be interesting. Eastland's going to bring the infield in. They're going to go for the play at the plate, or at least try to keep that run from scoring.
Boy, they are coming in. You're right.
And Brown takes the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 the count. Simpson comes set, checks the runner at third, delivers home. Brown pops one up, and it sails out of play. 0-2.
Brown's got to really protect now. 0-2 is the count. A strikeout would absolutely kill the Wildcats here, so he's got to try to put it in play. And
the 0-2 pitch on the way. And Brown lines to first. The throw back to third, not in time to double off the runner.
Well, Brown hit it right on the nose. Good job by Brown, but a line drive right at the first baseman, Christian, and threw it over to third. But good base running by by the pinch runner to get back in plenty of time.
So now there's 2 outs. Runners remain at second and third. Eastland hanging on to that 1-run lead, 10-9 here, bottom of the sixth. And the Cougars infielders can drop back to regular depth. Coots gets into one, and that finds the dirt. Here comes 1 run. Brandon Brown to the plate. He slides in ahead of the throw.
Wow.
And on the throw, Coots goes into second. So a 2-out, 2-run single by Austin Coots. And River Ridge Scales Mound retakes the lead, 11-10 here in the bottom of the sixth.
Great job by Austin Coots swinging on that first pitch. He lined it hard. Good base running. Knauer had him running, and just like that, now River Ridge Scales Mound is back in the lead, 11-10. What a great game here as Coots jumped all over that one, Greg, on that first pitch.
And it looks like Knauer was looking for a pinch runner, but
so that'll bring up Jack Cordy. Got a double in the first inning, single in the third inning, grounded out to the second baseman in the fifth. So he's had a nice game. He's 2 for 3. If you're a Wildcat fan, you'd sure like some insurance right here.
And Cordy fouls one off the catcher. I'm not sure where he took that, but he went down pretty quick.
Well, that's definitely the toughest position on the field is catchers. Catchers got to be very tough. That's a position I never wanted to play and never did play. No way. Umpires are doing a good job talking to the pitcher so the catcher can kind of shake off his foul tip. I'm not sure it got him a kneecap where it got, but he's a tough kid. He's saying, what are you doing? Let's go. He's all right.
And it looks like we will have a pinch runner for Coots.
Well, Coots had to get a good hand from the crowd. That was a big hit.
So we'll have the same runner that was the courtesy runner earlier is now the pinch runner for Coots.
I'm sure glad I know all the high school rules.
Yeah, I was reading a debate about the DH in the American League and National League, and this would open up a whole new can of worms about the designated runner.
Oh, boy.
Runner at second, 2 outs. It's an 11-10 River Ridge lead here in the bottom of the sixth. Jack Cordy at the plate. And an off-speed pitch by Simpson. Cordy way out in front of that. He swings and misses. 0-2 the count on Cordy. Simpson comes set. And Cordy dribbles one out in front of the plate. The catcher goes to first. And Christians digs it out of the dirt to save a run and put out the River Ridge rally. But at the end of 6 innings, the Wildcats have retaken the lead. It's River Ridge Scales Mound 11, Eastland 10, back after the sports timeout on WCCI. Welcome back once again to River Ridge High School along with Bob Dittmer. This is Greg Underwood. And this has been a wild game as we enter the top of the 7th inning. River Ridge Scales Mound clinging to an 11-10 lead. Matt Bastian has gone the distance, and he starts off the 7th inning against Tanner Geed with a fastball inside, ball 1. Second pitch on the way. That one's a strike at the knees, and the count evened up at 1-1. Bastian working quickly here in the 7th inning. This time Geed makes contact, gets it through the hole between second and first. So Geed leads off the 7th with a base hit and the tying run on base with nobody out.
Good job by Tanner. Do you bunt him over here? I'm not sure what you do here. What do you think?
Well, what do they say? You play for the win on the road and the tie at home. So I think they're going to try to have a big inning here. Bastian's thrown a lot of pitches.
Let's see. Ethan has struck out in the second, flew out to the right fielder, and walked. So he's officially 0 for 2. And we'll see what's going on here. What they want to do. If they want to bunt him over. Or...
Well, he took a long look down at third base. Bastian comes set. Comes to the plate. The pitch up and away, ball 1.
Got Zach Stottle now playing second for River Ridge Scales Mound.
Bastian's 1-0 offering on the way. Christians lays down a bunt. Bastian picks it up, gets the out at first. So you called that, Bob.
I got lucky.
So with the sacrifice bunt, Eastland now with the tying run in scoring position.
Baston fielded it very well and threw a perfect strike to his first baseman, Merkel. So with 1 out, runner in scoring position. Here comes up Ruscher. Walked in the 3rd, ground out to the pitcher in the 4th, and had a single in the 6th.
Bastian's pitch swung on and fouled back by Ruscher. That might have been a little high.
Took a nice cut, fouled it straight back.
So Bastian gets ahead, 0-1 on Ruscher.
Boy, if he could throw his breaking ball now, this would be I think, the time to throw it.
Another strike up over the chin, and he swings and misses, does Ruscher.
Yeah, Ruscher, unfortunately for Eastland, he's helping out Baston. He swung at 2 pitches that both were balls high in the strike zone.
With an 0-2 count, I expect another fastball about nose high.
Yeah, don't throw one in the middle of the plate here when you're up 0-2.
Ruscher's offered at 2 high fastballs already here in this at bat. And sure enough, but he pops this one up. Is it going to stay in play? Clippert back to the screen. Oh, and he misses it. No one more upset right now than Matt Clippert. So the count remains 0-2.
Yeah, that was a big break because normally the catcher's going to catch that. So second life here for the right hitter here for Ruscher. My score sheet looks pretty tough here when I got 10 guys batting.
A lot of runs scored.
I couldn't find my place.
Another 0-2 offering here by Bastian. And again, he goes upstairs and gets the strikeout.
That was a big fastball there. Blew it right by him. So after Clippert couldn't handle the foul ball, the foul tip, or not foul tip, foul ball in foul territory, pop-up. Boy, I can't even talk. Pop foul. I'll get it right yet. Baston comes back and throws it right by Ruscher.
And that will bring Will Lartz to the plate. He re-enters after being pinch hit for by Erbsen in the 6th. Johnson then ran for Erbsen, and now Lartz re-enters in the DH spot with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Well, Will's had a tough game. He's 0 for 2 with looked at 2 strikeouts, so hopefully he can put something in play here and tie this game up if you're for the Eastland Cougars.
First pitch is a strike. And Lartz moved way up in the box there. He's really close to the pitcher this time. He got in the box and took a couple shuffle steps toward the mound.
Got a small strike zone, too. He's going to be hard to pitch to.
1-1 is that fastball just a little bit outside, evens the count. The River Ridge Scales Mountain Wildcats 1 out away from a win. The Eastland Cougars 1 hit away from tying the game up.
That's right.
Bastion into the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on and blooped into center field. Dauphin on the run. He won't get to it. Here comes the throw. It will not be in time as it's cut off by Merkel. And Lartz with the base hit ties it up.
Lartz did it. He had a tough day until right there, and he tied it up on a single in front of our center fielder, Dauphin. And so good job for Will Lartz. This game all tied up now. Wow, what a game.
We've got lights here.
Yeah, we're going to have to use them. 11, not yet, but the way this game's going, we might have to. All tied up 11-11. Good job by Will.
So the bunt pays dividends for the Cougars.
Yep, good coaching and good job. So here's DJ Heron. I got him officially 0 for 2. I should say unofficially. I keep score, but he's 0 for 2. And a sacrifice.
So the go-ahead run at first.
Well, why they're calling timeout? Looking for an.
I don't think that same runner can re-enter. They're going to have to go to their bench, it looks like.
Well, we can say at the bottom of the 7th for River Ridge, it'll be Merkel, Stottle, and Dauphin. The 8, 9, and 1. I got a feeling this is a speed demon coming in for Eastland.
Jared Dickman into the lineup as he'll replace Lartz at first base.
Well, I'll guarantee he's stealing. Something's going on here. With 2 outs, why not? Let's get him running and test Clifford's arm is what Eastland's going to do right here. Not a big enough lead.
First pitch to Heron, a strike. 0-1 on the right fielder. Bastion looks the runner back at first, comes home, this one up and in. And the count evened up at 1-1.
Well, I'm wrong. He's not getting a very big lead over at first, so I thought he'd be possibly stealing, but not with that lead. He's going to have to get a bigger lead than that.
I think maybe he's just faster than Lartz is why he's out there. Bastion's delivery is swung on and missed by Heron. So Heron in a 1-2 hole now. In what has been a hitter's day here at River Ridge High School. Bastion's 1-2 pitch. On the way, and it's fouled off. Heron let go with that backhand.
He has a fastball kind of up, and Heron did a good job just getting a piece of it, staying alive. With the count 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Bastion comes set. Long pause, now comes home. And that ball up and in. Count even up at 2-2. Here's the next offering by Bastion. A long pause, he comes home. That ball down in the dirt. And the count's full. Full count, 2 outs. Runner will be off with the pitch. A base hit, something in the gap could score a run here.
Yeah, he will be off, and I'm sure he's got some speed. We'll see what happens. There's a balk, or is there time called?
Oh, batter called time, it looked like.
Wow.
So we'll reset things. 3-2, 2 outs. Bastion into the stretch. Here comes the pitch. The runner goes and fouled away into the parking lot, and that ball misses
Broke a couple
brown
windshields
Jeep
over there. No.
A near miss.
Safe light, where are you?
I think just about every first 3-2 pitch is a foul ball. So we'll do it again. Dickman leads from first. Bastion into the stretch. 3-2 pitch on the way. Here it is, and another foul ball.
Make it tough. DJ doing a good job. He's really making Baston work out there.
Going to run out of balls here.
Oh yeah. But good at batter for DJ Heron. The the right fielder for the Eastland Cougars. And if he gets a walk here, he should get a great hand from the Eastland crowd. He's just had a great at bat. We'll see what happens here. Courtesy runner probably getting tired over there at first base, so going off of the pitch all the time.
Bastion's third 3-2 offering on the way, and it's ball 4. And on cue, Bob, the Eastland crowd goes wild.
That's a great at bat. Great at bat by Heron.
You got to start wondering how much gas Bastion has left in the tank at this point.
Oh, his arms got to be just dragging. Well, that brings up Randecker. He's that good center fielder. He's had a nice game defensively and not too bad offensively either. I got him for 1 for 3 and a walk, scored a couple of times. Let's see what Zach can do on this first pitch.
Down in the dirt, ball 1. And remember, these teams played extra innings Tuesday night, and we may very well be heading for that same fate.
We are. We are.
You're going to call it, huh? Extra
we
innings.
At least 9.
Well, we'll see. Bastion checks runner at second, comes home. Randecker pops one foul. This one might hit a car.
Oh, it got one of the minivans over there.
That looks like that was an Eastland vehicle. So
looks like yours.
No, I parked
okay,
far, far away. 1-1 the count on Randecker. I think that was his uncle's car. Bastion comes set, comes to the plate. Oh, Randecker swings at a high fastball.
That's one of his. We don't have a radar gun, but he really reached back on that one.
I see the state trooper pulling in. He caught something. Going a little too fast.
That was good, Greg. We're getting punch drunk here.
I get one a game.
I'm drinking Mountain Dew full of caffeine. You got all this tea. What's it called? Snapple and.
Oh, and he gets him again. Another high fastball, and Randecker strikes out to end the top of the 7th inning, but not before the Cougars tie it up. After 6.5, it's River Ridge Scales Mound 11, Eastland 11. Back after the sports timeout on WCCI. The bottom of the 7th inning in what's been a wild but entertaining game. We're tied up at 11. As River Ridge trying to put this one away in regulation. River Ridge led 4-0 at the end of the 1st inning. A grand slam by Haverland in the top of the 3rd tied things up at 4. And then the Cats came roaring back in the bottom of the 3rd with 4 more. They had an 8-4 lead at that point. And then they tacked on another run in the bottom of the 5th. As the River Ridge Scales Mountain Wildcats were ahead 9-4 going into the top of that 6th inning, seemingly had the game in hand. 2 quick outs in the top of the 6th on 2 pitches. The Cougars looked like they were down to 4 outs, but a 2-out, 5-run rally in the top of the 6th by Eastland brought them back to within. They tied the game up and went ahead, and then 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th by River Ridge gave them a 1-run lead. There's been so many runs we can't keep track of them.
Man.
And then with 2 outs in the top of the 7th, Eastland down to their last at bat, and Will Lartz with a clutch single drove in Tanner Geed from second base and knotted things up at 11. And that's where we stand here as we enter the bottom of the 7th.
Would you repeat that, please?
We're tied at 11, entering the bottom of the 7th.
I'm not a reporter for a newspaper, and I got to type all this out. It would take me forever. But I've been to a lot of games in my life, and I'm telling you, this has got to be in the top, near the top of back and forth, all with 2 outs. A lot of great 2-out rallies. But we have to get this game over with because my score sheet, the scorecard here is full. You can't go extra innings.
Sam Merkel pops up a curveball on the 1-1 pitch. And that goes out of play. So Merkel now behind in the count, 1-2. Well, I tell you what, Bob, if it's still tied after 7, you can walk down to the ump and tell them you're out of score sheets and see if they call the game for you.
Okay, you got it. As long as it run out of hot dogs. One advantage of being at River Ridge here, just like the professionals, we got the caterer, all the food for us people in the media. God, it's a great place to be.
Simpson into the windup. His 1-2 pitch by Merkel is driven to center field. Randecker racing in. He gets under it.
Can of corn when it's hit to Randecker.
Randecker made that look routine. Merkel got good aluminum on that.
Yeah, good.
Or good composite.
Good metal on that one.
That's the first out of the bottom of the 7th. And now Zach Stottle, now playing second base, steps in. Simpson into the wind. Stottle waves and misses at the first one. Simpson quickly ahead, 0-1. That one up and away. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. And if the Wildcats fail to score, it'll be interesting to see who takes the mound in the top of the 8th.
Oh, boy. Baston's arms got to be like jello, I would think.
Oh, Stottle lines a nice diving catch by the shortstop. As that's Geed at short now.
Great play on a line drive. Shortstop Geed going to his right, diving into the dirt, catching that. Great play. 2 up, 2 down. Brings up Brendan Dauphin, the leadoff hitter.
Well, there's been a lot of 2-out scoring going on in this game.
That's right.
And if you're the Wildcats, you're hoping that you can score once more with 2 outs. As a big breaking ball by Simpson stays too high, and that's taken for ball 1. Simpson gets the sign, into the wind. Dauphin waves and misses at a fastball, and the count evened up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Simpson's 1-1 pitch is another breaking ball, which breaks over the plate for a strike.
Yeah, he mixed up the speed good on that one and got the call. So 1-2. Anything close, Dauphin's going to have to guard.
And he does. Into center field. Randecker coming hard. He won't get out. He gets by him. Dauphin on his horse. He's to second. I think he's going to score. He's rounding second. He hits third. He's being waved. He rounds third. Here's the throw home. It's going to be close. Dauphin hits the dirt. He stays in there.
Oh, my. This game is over. A walk-off inside the park home run for Brendan Dauphin, the fastest guy in the team. I guess it'd be a home run. The center fielder, it got by him. Might be a single and a 3-base error, but who cares? The game's over with. And wow, what an exciting game. We'll let our listeners know what happened. It was a line drive by Dauphin, and Randecker, a great outfielder, came in. It was a base hit. He came in, tried to make a diving play on a ball he probably couldn't have caught, and it got by him. And it should have been a single. It ended up being, who knows, single and 3-base error or inside the park home run. Doesn't matter. River Ridge Scales Mound just walked off winning this ball game 12-11. Greg, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, what an interesting and probably appropriate way to end this game. We mentioned there was a lot of scoring after 2 outs, and Dauphin came up there, was down in the count 1-2, and took a pitch and drove it into center field. As you mentioned, Randecker trying to come up with the big catch. Instead, it gets by him and rolls to the fence, and Dauphin didn't let up from the time he left the batter's box. Just beat the throw at the plate. And the River Ridge Scales Mound Wildcats come away with a wild 12-11 win over the Eastland Cougars. Bob?
Yeah, I got Eastland Cougars unofficially. Believe me, folks, unofficially, but I got them with 11 runs on 8 hits. And I'm not even going to tell people how many errors and walks there were, but they had 11 runs on 8 hits. River Ridge, 12 runs on 16 hits. Doubled them in hits, but it was a great game back and forth. Wow, what a way to end it. Got to feel kind of bad for Randecker. He's a great ball player, and he tried to make the fantastic catch, and it kind of backfired on him. And he dove on that hard ground, and the ball bounced in front of him and then went over top of him and rolled to the fence. There's only one guy on this team that could have got all the way around, and that was Dauphin. And a good relay throw would have had him, but it was kind of a high throw and a good slide by Dolphin, and a great game for all the fans to watch this. I'm glad we had it on WCCI and River Ridge TV.
So Matt Bastion goes the distance, pitches 7 innings to pick up the complete game win, allowing 11 runs. Not all of those earned, I don't believe.
No.
On the other side of the ledger, in relief, it is Nick Simpson, the hard luck loser. So once again, the final here is River Ridge Scales Mound rallying to defeat Eastland 12-11 in 7 innings. That'll do it for our broadcast here from River Ridge High School. But before we step away, let's acknowledge our sponsors making this afternoon's broadcast possible. They include the First State Bank Shannon Polo Lake Carroll, Deal and Lot Construction, along with Herman Funeral Homes, Apple River State Bank, the Carroll Service Company, along with the Prairie Advocate, Schuler Concrete, as well as Exchange State Bank, Al's Quality Service, Cordy Landscaping, the Storybrook Country Club, along with the Savannah Times-Journal and the Carroll County Mirror-Democrat. Once again, the final here, River Ridge Scales Mound 12, Eastland 11. Bob, any final thoughts?
Just want to thank all the great sponsors. If it wasn't for them, we couldn't do this on the air. I want to thank Leslie Smith in the studio, Brian Roosh coming back on the air. Brian, thank you, and WCCI for letting me have fun up here with you and Greg. I had a great time.
Hey, thank you guys. You did a great job. It was a wild game and quite a finish this afternoon. So
I had a great time, and thank you very much, Brian. And
our next broadcast of high school boys baseball will be Monday afternoon from Warren, as Warren Stockton will host West Carroll, airtime about 3:50 with the first pitch at 4 on Monday. So quite a game here for the River Ridge Scales Mound Wildcats. Your final score, 12-11 in 7 innings. River Ridge Scales Mound with the victory. For Greg Underwood and Bob Dittmar, I'm Brian Roosh, sending things back to Leslie Smith at the WCCI studios.